Hi, this is Miss Wright, and I'm going to read The Streak from 145th Street Stories by Walter Dean Myers. Students should take notes as they read on characters, setting, plot, theme, literary terms. Okay, so my name is Jamie Farrell. Remember that in case I get famous or something. My main man, my ace, the Jack who's got my back is Froggy Williams. Froggy is definitely for real. Only thing is that he doesn't know scratch about ball. So you missed a shot, Froggy said. Big deal. So we lost to Powell Academy, I said. We're the only team uptown that has lost to Powell. So what happened? The game was down to 15 seconds and we're losing by a point, I said. Tommy Small steals the ball and they all jump up into his face. Me, I see Tommy cop the pill and I'm running down the court. My man is trying to double team Tommy and so I'm free as I want to be and standing under the basket. Tommy didn't see you? No, he sees me jump up and gets me the ball with like 2 seconds to go. Yeah? Then I blow the layup, I said. Why'd you do that, Froggy asked. How do I know? I said. I was free. I didn't rush it. I banked it soft off the backboard just like in practice, and it rolled around the rim and fell off. So you want to go to my crib and listen to some jams? Froggy asked. Man, the whole school is on my case for blowing a game to dumb old Powell Academy. And you talking about listening to some jams? I said. What am I going to listen to? The Death March? Yo, just forget it ever happened, Froggy said. Life goes on. No, it doesn't, I said. That was the first thing that happened today. Then I go into the locker room and all the guys are giving me the evil eye because I blew the game, right? Yeah. So I try to finesse it off and I'm sitting there drinking a bottle of Wonderade, okay? I said, thinking maybe I shouldn't even tell him. Wonderade is cool, Froggy said. It was it wasn't until I dropped the bottle, it broke on the floor, and everybody had to pussyfoot around the floor so they wouldn't get cut by the broken glass, I said. Oh, that's what Froggy said. Okay. So I go on home and I'm feeling miserable. When I go to bed, what fills up my dreams? Tommy throwing me the ball and me blowing a layup. Only in my dreams when the ball falls off the rim, it breaks up on the floor and everybody on my team gets cut. When I get up in the morning, I don't even want to go to school, but I go, do the right thing and that and all that. Froggy and I have biology together. All the way down the hall to class, people were giving me dirty looks. We stopped to look at the posters for the junior class, and a girl gave me a bump in the back. I gave her a look, and she gave me a look back. How you blow that layup? She said. You taking bribes or something? When she left, I turned my attention back to the junior dance. I'm thinking about asking Celia to the dance, I told Froggy. Celia Evera? He asked. Yeah, Celia from the Dominican Republic and the finest chick in the school. Man, you are never in all your days going to pull that girl, Froggy said. You probably couldn't even pull her in a dream. That got my jaw a little tight, but I didn't say anything. I just went on in and sat through the longest biology class I have ever had in my life. I thought the bell would never ring, but it finally did. Okay, class, let's wrap it up, Mr. Willis said. This slide project is going to um, count as 25% of your final grade, so I want the slides labeled with your name, class, and my hands must have been sweaty. Maybe I caught a cramp in my fingers. I don't know. All I remember was sick feeling in my stomach when the slide slipped out of my hand. I went to grab it and almost had it before it hit the ground. I looked up and Mr. Willis was looking down at me and shaking his head. I had to explain to Mr. Willis how I didn't break the slide on purpose, and he didn't believe a word of it. The man just looked at me and kept shaking his head. He picked up he picked up his marking book, and I saw him write down a big red zero next to my name. I'm giving up, I said to Froggery. I'm going home, getting under my bed and staying there until the year 3000. Maybe things won't be going so bad by then. You could be a streaker, Froggy said. A what? A streaker, he said. I read in this book that some people do things in streaks. You ever hear about a baseball player who gets a lot of hits in a row, then stops and they don't get any more touchdowns? You mean base hits, he said. Whatever, Froggy shrugged. Anyway, some people go through their whole lives like that. All of a sudden something really bad happens to you and then you do a bunch of bad things in a row. Or something good happens to you and you do a bunch of good things in a row. You lost the ball game. You broke the bottle in the locker. Then you just broke your slide in biology. I don't believe in luck or streaks or whatever else you're talking about, I said. We were taking a break in the cafeteria. I was having a soda and Froggy was drinking milk like he always did. I don't even believe in astrology either. Froggy kept on talking about this streak stuff, but I wasn't into it. The next bell rang and we got up to leave. I dropped my soda can carefully into the garbage can. Then I grabbed Froggy's milk container and tossed it into the center of the can. I, I said center because I meant center. I don't know how to hit the edge of the can and bounce off into Maurice Dupre's laps. Maurice Dupre is 6 feet high, 6 feet wide, and has more fingers and toes than he has points in his IQ. I watched as the last drops of milk fell into Maurice's lap. Then I watched as he looked up at me with his little squinty bloodshot eyes. Then I watched as he stood up with his fist in a ball. Then I ran out of the cafeteria as fast as I could. I spent all day sneaking around the halls and slipping into classrooms so Maurice wouldn't find me. I mean, I wasn't worried about fighting him because I knew how it would come out. What I was worried about was if he would ever wake up when the fight was over. When school was over, I didn't even go to my locker to get my stuff. I just told Froggy to walk down the hall and see if he saw Maurice, to call out my name and point in some direction away from where I was sneaking out of the side door. Froggy didn't understand sports, but he understood me not wanting to get my butt kicked, and so he went along with it. Last thing I heard in school was that Maurice was chasing Froggy around the gym. I got to the block thinking about Froggy and Maurice and the streak. I stopped on the corner where I lived and bought some potato wedgies and a soda from the burger joint. I got the wedgies first and started munching on them while the lady behind the counter poured my soda. Then I remembered I hadn't taken my wallet out of my pocket and put it in my locker after lunch. Then I remembered that I had taken my wallet out of my pocket and put it in my locker after lunch. The wedgies didn't taste right, I called out. They're going to taste a lot worse with a broken jaw, the manager called out, so you just better pay up and eat 'em. I knew by the time he got around the counter I could get away. All he got was one little whack at the back of my head that didn't even hurt. Right home. up the stairs, close the door, and lock it, then cool out. Life was just wrong. The phone rang, and I started not to answer it, but then the way things were working out, I figured maybe it was somebody warning me that a killer was coming up the stairs to get me. I rushed to the phone and stopped just long enough to hit my ankle into a dumbbell. You ever hear that sound your ankle bone makes when it hits steel? You ever see them little stars that go off in your head? Hello, Jamie? The voice on the phone asked. It depends, I said. Who is this? This is Mr. Bradley, came the answer. I just wanted to let you know you failed your English test big time. You're about a hair from failing the course. I just wanted to warn you. Oh, thank you, sir. You have made my day with your kindness, I said. By the time I got to the refrigerator to get some ice for my ankle, I was crying. No, I don't mean no sad look. I mean some right out boo-hoo with tears running down my face. My ankle was throbbing, my feelings were hurt, and I was ready to give it all up and resign from the human race. I put the ice on my ankle, which was bruised and swollen and a little bloody. Then I sat down, put my leg up on the kitchen table, and called Froggy. Froggy, I give up, man. I said, I'm on a death streak and I know I'm probably headed right out the world. No, man, the streak is gonna end, Froggy said. Yeah, when I'm dead? No, Froggy said. Just like you missed a shot and lost the basketball game. Basketball game, I said? Whatever. Anyway, something dramatic can happen and the whole thing will turn around. Then you'll have as much good luck as you had bad luck. What you mean by dramatic? I asked. Hey, when it happens, Froggy said, you'll know it. Ellen is my sister. She's 12 and has a fast mouth. She also has braces that cost a whole bunch of money, and I can't pop her when she's running her weak girl game. What happened to you? She said when she came home. I heard somebody was chasing you down the street. Nothing, I said. Why don't you tell me who was chasing you so I can go tell them you're here, she said. Why don't you shut up, I answered. What happened to your leg? Nothing. She went to the refrigerator and took out the eggs. She took one egg out and handed it to me. Here, she said, if nothing happened to your ankle, you must have an egg under your skin. It's sticking up under your skin. It's sticking up so much. Here's another egg for the other leg. Man, I just wanted to punch her right smack in her wire braces. She went waltzing out the kitchen and had the nerve to stick out her tongue at me. That's when I lost it. I tossed that egg towards the sink and started to get up, but then the pain started throbbing in my leg and I sat back down real quick. I saw this movie once where this guy got shot in the leg and they had to cut it off. They gave him a drink of whiskey and a bullet to bite on. There was some soda in the fridge, and I eased my leg down real slow and went for that. That's when I saw it. Okay, wrap your brain around this. I got one hand on the refrigerator door when my mind hit the sink. I looked at the sink and there wasn't any egg in it. Then I looked at the carton of eggs on the counter and there were 12 eggs in the carton. Yo, Ellen, come here quick. Ellen took her sweet time getting in the kitchen. Then she stood in the doorway with her hand on her skinny little hip. What? Did you hand me an egg a little while ago? I asked. Okay, this is going to end in a few seconds. I will try to do a part 2, but I can't guarantee it. Continue reading on your own.